Okay, so what we are doing right now is we are quickly trying to quickly finish water, air, and climate. So today we are looking at air and climate. What I should explain maybe to those who are new. Those who are new. By the way, guys, we have 12 chapters in chemistry. To those who are, I don't know if there's anyone who's joining us for chemistry for the first time today. Let me try to see if I can show you. That's something which is always what I do. Um, this is what you should always have in your mind every day of the next few months. Okay, the next 3 months you should have this. Make sure you are done with everything. Right now we are doing chapter 10 out of 12. So let me try to quickly show you. This is what it is. We are doing chemistry of the environment, which is chapter 10. We have chapter 10, and we want to quickly cover everything about it, and we'll do a lot of questions. So this is the chapter we're doing. For those who don't know, we are doing chapter 10, chemistry of the environment. And there are three things you must know: water, air, climate. Done. So today we are doing air and climate. We are done with water. And today we are doing air and climate. So let me go back to that other, to my board, and let's start. Is everybody fine? So, chapter 10 out of 12. IGCSE chemistry. You don't want to be writing anything in September, okay, when you are revising. So try to write with me right now. Don't keep your hands not moving. They should be moving. So air and climate. And we'll talk about fertilizer. Okay? Talk about fertilizer as well. Fertilizers. It was better if we had talked about them after water, but it's still the same thing. It's still fine. So chapter 10, part 2. Okay, chapter 10 is organisms, and it's chapter 10 is definitely not air and climate only, but let me say it's chemistry of the environment, like this. What is it doing? Chemistry of the environment. It has parts, okay? And this, what we are doing is part 2, air and climate. Then we are left with one part, which is fertilizers, which is basically just 5 lines or 6 lines. I mean, it's nothing. So let's go through it. This section covers 4 important concepts. 4 important concepts. Okay. This section covers 4 important concepts. Write with me. Covers 4 important concepts. 1, air. Okay. In other words, what is in the atmosphere? Okay. Instead of 4, let me say 5. Air. In other words, what is in the atmosphere? Then number 2, air pollution. Okay. Okay. So when we say air, we are saying what is in the atmosphere. What are we breathing? What is in this atmosphere? What is in the air we breathe? Then air pollution. In other words, what do we have harmful gases? So when it's air pollution, we're studying harmful gases. Okay. Harmful gases. Then we study the greenhouse effect. Has anybody ever seen a greenhouse? Has anyone ever seen a greenhouse? Okay. A greenhouse basically is to monitor temperature. It's to monitor temperature. It works by keeping things warm. So heat can come in, but it can't just go out. So that is when we say a gas is a greenhouse gas, it means it traps heat. So greenhouse effect is, we're going to talk about it. Then we'll say number 4, environmental problems, basically. Climate change, acid rain, and how we can remove them. So let me say reducing environmental problems. In reducing environmental problems, and then we will study photosynthesis, the effect of this. It's a small thing, so we won't study it the way we do in bio, but you must just know this. Are you ready? Have you seen the things that you have to know? Everybody, have you seen it? These are the things that you're going to have to know. So let's quickly go through these ideas as fast as we can. So first, we talk about air. So maybe instead of writing air, I should have written the composition of air. So it doesn't matter. So first thing, the composition of air. What is air made out of? What we call air. What is it made out of? So before studying pollution, it is important to know what normal, clean, dry air contains. Clean, dry air contains. So right here to say composition of clean, dry air. Composition of clean, dry air. Number one, it has four things, okay? Okay. Let me say here gas. Then let me say here percentage. What happened? Let me fix that. Sorry for that. You can see my screen again, right? Right. So normal, clean, dry air. What does it have? Let's see the gases that it has. I want you to say gas and percentage. Right. People, let me say this. There is no hydrogen in the air. Please. Hydrogen is a fuel. It will burn. There is no hydrogen. It's nitrogen, not hydrogen. It's nitrogen, this one. There is no hydrogen. Come on now. Hydrogen is a fuel. If we had hydrogen in the air, then none of us would buy fuel. Would put it in the car and drive. Oxygen, then carbon dioxide, CO2. Then we call them noble gases. In other words, the gases that are in group 8. Everything in group 8 is a gas. Argon, neon, all those things. They are all gases. Okay? Group 8, those are gases. And all those gases from group 8 are called noble gases. So group 8 gases are here. So we don't need to ask group 8 what is inside you. Are you a gas or are you a solid? They are all gases, and they are called noble gases, and they are there in the atmosphere. They make nearly 1%. Then you have 0.04, very, very little is carbon dioxide. Most is nitrogen, and 21 oxygen. So let me just say this, basically in simple terms. Let me say this, guys. 99% of the atmosphere is two things only. Everything else fits in the last 1%. Noble gases, carbon dioxide, everything else, it fits in the 1%. 99 is nitrogen and oxygen. All right. I don't want to overdwell on something which is small. We have bigger fish to fry. We'll keep moving. You've heard me. So maybe let me write it. The two main, we didn't say hydrogen. Don't let me down there. Mm-mm. The two main gases in the air are nitrogen, 78%. We saw that. Oxygen, we saw that it is 21. So together, 99. Okay. Together, they make up 99% of the atmosphere. Nitrogen and oxygen make up 99% of the atmosphere. Then we have a little bit of carbon dioxide. It's a little bit. We have a little bit of the noble gases and stuff. All right. Now, let's go to the second. You've seen what clean dry air is. We just didn't want you to just end there. We want you to know when we now start to have air pollution, what will be now happening. Okay. Write the second part. Air pollution. What are the harmful gases and their effects? Which gases are harmful and what is the effect? So I'm going to give you the list of all the harmful gases and a table of harmful gases. And I'm going to tell you their effects. But before that, let's talk about what air pollution is. What is air pollution? Okay. So write to say air pollution. Okay. You saw what clean dry air should have. You saw what good air should have. So when we start having anything else, we have pollution, my friends. Air pollution occurs when harmful gases. Which ones are the harmful gases, Mr. Clarify? Gases that are not on that table we just did. When harmful gases or particles are added to the atmosphere. If you start adding anything else to the atmosphere, then you are polluting. If you start changing the percentages, carbon dioxide should be at 0.04. Don't change it. If you start changing it, you are polluting the atmosphere. Okay? When harmful gases are added then to the atmosphere, then we have pollution. Most pollution comes from, let me tell you the things the most pollution comes from. With the things that add harmful gases to the atmosphere. One, burning fuels. Coal in power plants and all these things that we are doing, burning fuels. Yep. For different functions. Here I want you to say vehicles. Cars. Factories, the industry. For power stations. Of course, everybody knows that in the industries they are releasing toxic gases. Everybody knows that. At the industries there. Yes. At the factories. And in cars. And at power stations, you see a lot of black smoke coming up. They are burning coal there. They are burning whatever. And agriculture. What's going on now? Let me fix once and for all. Okay, I fixed it. This is what we mean by pollution when things are added to our atmosphere. We don't want them. We want the composition we have just seen. So, agriculture can cause us to have bad things in the atmosphere. Now let's see the problems. Okay, the pollutants. Let's see the pollutants. I want you to write here to say the table of pollutants. Okay, the table of the 6 pollutants. The table of the 6 pollutants. Okay, we'll stop at 9 and do the other 2 lessons, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, so just follow me. Pollutant. Then I want you to say source. Then I want you to say its harm. Its harm. Let's see the 6 gases that will go into our atmosphere and cause problems. Okay. What are the gases, the 6 gases that we hate so much? Well, carbon dioxide is one. You should not increase the amount of carbon dioxide. Okay. Where does it come from? Complete combustion. When fuels are burning left, right, center, at power stations, inside cars, everywhere when fuels, at factories, when fuels are burning, there is complete combustion. Carbon dioxide is released. What does it cause? It causes global warming. Okay, it's a greenhouse gas. It's going to trap more sunlight on the earth, and that heat from the sun can't go back. It's supposed to bounce on earth and go back. Now it can't go back. It's being stopped like a greenhouse. So, oh my days. The sun is being stopped. The heat from the sun, yes. It can't go back, yes. So that means more heat is just coming, but it's failing to go back like it's supposed to, yes. So over time, the temperature starts going up, yes. Because you are trapping heat, it's not going back. Come on now. Surely you can write that. You can understand that. Carbon monoxide, let's go. We don't have time. This one is now from incomplete combustion. This is not complete combustion. This is incomplete combustion. What is the harm? It is poisonous. Okay? If you have a leak, okay, I know of a family that almost went through this. Of a gas leak, they had a gas leak and carbon monoxide was getting into the house. But great for them, they had a smoke detector. So the smoke detector started going off. Wee, 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 because they had a swimming pool heater. Okay, a swimming pool heater which was running, and it was burning, right? And there was incomplete combustion there, and carbon monoxide was going into the house. In 30 minutes, 40 minutes, it can be lethal. It's poisonous. You can't have this. We don't want it in our atmosphere. It's poisonous. That's the harm. It can kill. Carbon monoxide. Next, methane. Animals. Okay, animals, and in when you have animal feces, you can take them when they're decaying or anything else, and you can put them in big containers and whatever, or silos or whatever, and you can start producing this methane gas. The problem is it is a greenhouse gas, so it will cause global warming. You are contaminating the atmosphere, my friend. You're contaminating. Global warming is a disaster. You're going to learn about it just now. Okay? There are more, El Ninos and different weather hazards, serious weather problems that are happening nowadays because of global warming. Okay? Because of global warming. So you can start to have cyclones and floods and different things. Rainfall patterns change. Everything is affected because of global warming. The temperatures have changed. And it's because you changed the composition of the atmosphere. That's the main problem. Nitrogen, put the other two. that we so much hate. Nitrogen oxides. These are not our friends. These are not our friends. And where do they come from? Engines. Okay? And some come from lightning. Okay? That's not the main problem, but from engines. They will cause acid rain. We'll talk about the problem with this acid rain. Okay? What it eats. But remember, nitrogen oxides. Then there is, can everybody see? Then you have 5, which is sulfur dioxide. So nitrogen oxides, NO2, NO3, and sulfur dioxide, and NO. Sulfur dioxide, it is from fossil fuels. There we go, fossil fuels. They are the ones that give us this sulfur dioxide, which also causes acid rain. So these two, we'll talk about them. We will talk about them. Right. These two that cause acid rain. Now, other contaminates, things that can contaminate the sky, pollutants, let's say pollutants, it is, right, particulates. These come from incomplete combustion. And they can cause lung disease. Are we together, students? Have you seen the pollutants? Okay? So if it causes global warming, that's climate change, right? So global warming is climate change. It's change of climate. Right. Incomplete combustion, by the way, put in to say when there is not enough oxygen, then you have incomplete combustion. When you are burning, when there is not enough oxygen. Right. This is very, very dangerous. Okay? Because you have less energy getting to your cells. You'll be having this carbon monoxide binding with hemoglobin. Now the hemoglobin can no longer carry oxygen, and you start breathing less and less and less. Okay. Questions? Now we keep going. Okay? We keep going. So let me write some things here. Okay? Where did I say is the source? Incomplete combustion, fossil fuels, sulfur dioxide, or let me say power stations. Right. Now, let's talk about acid rain. Since you've seen the pollutants, let's see how sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, NO, by the way, NO and NO2. These are the problems. These are the problems. Okay? So let's talk about it. Acid rain. Acid rain damages buildings. Acid rain damages statues. Acid rain damages lakes. Acid rain damages rivers. Acid rain damages forests. All these water bodies. Right. Now, acid rain, acid rain is caused by two gases. There are two culprit gases that cause acid rain. One, sulfur dioxide. Then two, nitrogen oxide. So sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen oxides, sulfur dioxide is SO2, nitrogen oxide is NO and NO2. These cause acid rain. Now you can write, okay? We know that it damages buildings. So you can say here it damages buildings. Then you can also say it damages metals. It causes corrosion. Corrosion basically means something, the metal reducing in value. Okay, metal reducing value. So in lakes and rivers, it is harm to aquatic life. Life in these things. Okay? Are we together? You should write these things. Statues, right here to say damage damage to limestone statues. These are the effects of acid rain. You must know it. It causes metals to corrode, damage to limestone statues, to aquatic life, and to buildings as well. Okay? At, and here in forests, I want you to say it can cause crop damage. The trees and everything. Sorry, I don't have water close to me. I'm trying to clear my throat. So, remember this. I want everybody to remember the pollutants. Okay? Time is not my friend. It's already time up, but everybody has to remember all the gases that are pollutants, the six of them, and what they cause. And everybody has to remember the combustion of clean dry air, and everybody just should know about acid rain. Now, we're going to talk about what it does, then go on to combustion and the greenhouse effect. Okay? Where the sun will be sending its radiation to the earth. But remember, the heat will become trapped. The heat should not go back. That's the greenhouse effect, keeping heat within. So if you have a gas which does that, the heat is going to be trapped on earth. It stays on earth instead of bouncing back, which it must bounce back. But now it's staying on earth. And when it's staying on earth, more heat comes, and more heat comes, and more heat comes, and the temperature starts increasing. The overall temperature, this is what we call global warming. Okay? Well done, everybody. This is it. Brings us to the end of the chemistry lesson. Let me mark the attendance. Well done, Tada. I can see you there.